ಚೆಕ್ ಚೆಕ್
ಮೂರ್ತಿಗೆವಾ
ಬೇಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಬೇಡ ಇದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪೈಜಾನಿ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಪೈಜಾನಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದು ಈ ಕ್ಲಿಪ್ಪು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಐ ಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ಫೌಜಾನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರು ಹೋದ್ರು ಬಟ್ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸ
I think he would also need one.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಸರಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್
Yes, thank you. Oh, we have it here.
ಆ ಲೈಟ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು
I think we'll start with the video. It's yeah.
I'll just introduce the ಇದು ನೀವು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ then we'll shift. I will also shift. ಸಲೀಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ ಓಕೆ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್
Yeah, just.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to InsideOut session 26. Welcome to this Friday evening session, and also welcome to those who are joining online. Today we have special guest from Soult Digital to present something very interesting. Generally, we end up discussing on Companies Act, the procedures of FEMA, rules and regulations, and share our knowledge. This is how we end up with having this Friday evening session. But I happen to also attend one event by Soult Dialogues. It was an insightful event wherein it was presented that not just earning money or making assets, thinking about the family in the present is sufficient. It is also something beyond that. How best we have to create our future, what should happen after our life, and many more things which were never thought in general, which should have been thought in the beginning. So, to present unique technology around it, we have today Mr. Fauzan and Sir. From Dubai, we have Mr. Durga Charan, and we also have Mr. Salim, who has joined us virtually. Let us warmly welcome them, all of you. Sir, please. Salim, over to you now. Salim, you are on mute if at all you are speaking.
Hi, thanks for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Salim. Digital. So Soult is India's first digital life board. So what I mean digital life board is everything that you have can be stored in Soult, right? Whether it's your memories, whether it's your assets, whether it's your KYC documents, whether it's your warranty cards, whether it's your password keeper. We have made a vault to store everything that you own, whether it's tangible or intangible. And also these assets or memories or password keepers, anything that is stored on Soult can also be securely passed on to your next generation, right? So whether it's your parents, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your children, whatever you want to leave back to your next generation. It can be storing your wishes, it can be storing your spiritual beliefs, it can be storing your very special occasions, memories. You can do daily diaries, you can do journaling. You could also, pass on your recipes. You can write your message to your children, a message to your spouse, various things that you want. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, we are busy building assets, and we have a lot of love that we store internally, but we don't express on a daily basis to our children or to our parents or to our spouse. So, and in unforeseen circumstances, something happens to us, it's all gone with us, right? So it's not, we don't end up storing this anywhere. So it is built with a purpose, which is also used for you on a day-to-day basis, whether it's storing your day-to-day documents, it can be your Aadhaar card, your passport, KYC, birth certificates, insurances, registration, everything in the world, which you can access directly from Soult, and also share it through WhatsApp or email directly from Soult, right? So you don't need to look at drives or galleries or Google Photos to look for these documents, right? At the same time, you could also store your voice notes, you could also store your video notes as memory for your next generation. At the same time, you have assets folder where you put everything that you own, whether it's your properties, stocks, insurance, equities, gold, physical gold, virtual gold, collectibles, cryptos, um, anything that you own, which, I mean, we own a lot of things, but I'm sure at least 70-80% of the Indians, families don't know half of the things that we own. Our spouse or partner or parents don't know half of the things we own, or sometimes we ourselves don't remember a lot of the things that we own. Okay, how many insurances we have done, how many policies we have done, different assets that people have, right? And as you all are aware, like this RBI report that there's more than 1 lakh crore of unclaimed funds in the banks, which means people have left without informing their families to claim those money in the bank, right? So they would have put nominees, but nominees doesn't mean that the banks will give the money to your family in case of unforeseen some in case of death or something like that, right? So whether it's insurance or accounts, they don't give the nominees the funds. The nominees have to go claim. And half of the time, the families don't know where is the bank account, how much money is there in the bank account, or what insurance they have, or if there is a gold somewhere in the locker, or is there a bill. All these things, even you can also create bill documents and store it in Soult, right? And also all your passwords, whether it's for your laptop, for your phone, for your digital accounts, everything can be stored here, and all the information. So as you can assign executors for each of these memories, or for each of these, nominees for each of these memories or assets. Where in case of emergency, the executor can access your vault and see all the information that you have and your wishes and your look at everything that you have left behind, right? So that everything that you own, whether it's memories or assets, everything is safe, secure, and is passed on to your family when the time comes. So this is, in short, Soult. This is one of the first in the world, I would say, that we have created, and it's a secure vault, which is all the data, because it's very private data. We make sure that the security is on top of our priorities list. So it's all the data is encrypted AES-256 and stored on the AWS servers. We don't store any data on our local servers. So every time you fetch data, it directly fetches from the server, right? And we are also DPDP compliant as per Indian law. We are storing data in the Excel. And we are also now on the verge of getting the NOC 2 license and GDPR compliant. So that way we have ensured that the vault is secure because it's a lot of private data that you will be putting in us, right? So this is in short what Soult is about. And that's it, right? So that's it from my side. Fauzan or Durga can show you the app or some presentations. So if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to take. Thank you.
I'll just play the video.
Thank you, Salim. So now let's welcome.
We'll just have a short video.
Now stage is over to you now.
Okay, just a second.
Let's welcome. Thank you. Sir, ಬನ್ನಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಾವು ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ.
Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. No, he cannot. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll admit. HDMI cable. We can hear. We'll say. We'll say.
Okay.
Just tell him that
Yeah.
we play the video and we'll continue so we can see this in the screen.
Maybe Kozan, you should share from your laptop.
Yeah, so it came here, it didn't go on that. I'll just one second, just try it once again.
Can you share this
Yeah,
video?
No, that's why I just wanted to.
Yeah. I think now it will.
Just mute it. Unmute also.
No, that's okay. I think now we can see.
Can they hear? Can you just check?
Look at
We can't hear.
Or we will start with the presentation. Probably we'll just share across the video.
Thank you. Your voice is also not.
It's not-
Or you can directly use the mic like what you did. It's fine.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that'll be
yeah.
easier.
It's fine, absolutely, to use the mic.
You just plug this in. Switch on.
Just check it. So you can-
Hi, everyone. Hello? The people on call. Salim, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi, everyone, both virtual and in person. Thank you so much for your time. So what we'll do is, maybe I'll just remove, if you can just minimize this. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, this one. Just minimize this because it's on screen.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So as you all know, Salim has given a small brief on what Soult actually is. The people who are at the office here today have come across the video, they've heard it with the audio, and it has given you a small gist on what Soult covers and what happens on the day-to-day basis over here. So for people who are connected virtually, what we'll do is we'll also send across the video along with the presentation that we're going to go ahead and do. But just something I want to ask the people here is, based on what you've seen in the video and what Salim has given you, what is your first impression on Soult? Just some thoughts from anyone?
Guys, I already know, so I don't answer.
Any guesses? Come on. Absolutely no one. So maybe I should pick on them probably.
It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So what we're trying to do is, the main aspect here is, see, each and every one of us, we earn, we build assets, whether it's insurance, investments, bank accounts, properties, gold, any type of an investment we make, we're not only doing it for us, but we're eventually doing it for a family. It could be for parents, it could be for partners, spouse, it could be for kids and for next generations. There's been a lot of challenges where people say the simple thing as to how the succession take place. There has to be a will, there has to be a proper pathway set up. But in most cases, especially in India, it's not there. So there's a lot of avenues where you come across news articles that there is thousands of crores in insurance houses, thousands of crores in bank accounts which are unclaimed. So it's just for all of us to think as to why is this number there and why are these funds unclaimed. So what we are trying to focus on is financial continuity. You build assets on your bank accounts or your investment side, you have nominees put together. But if something happens, do they actually get the benefit out of it? We have nominees in a bank account, but a bank is not going to call up the nominee and say that, say, so-and-so has money here, you are the nominee, collect it. No. Even when you identify that you are the nominee, you go to the bank, they ask you a list of documents. So it happens for each and every aspect. And say, all of us are working, so we might come across someone who's selling us an insurance or an investment policy. It could be an SIP. We just put in a nominee 10 years down the line, even we don't know who's the nominee in that account. So there's a possibility that when a person is no more, at a critical point, the family also does not get the benefit. So that is what we're trying to avoid and eradicate here, is to ensure, one, you have financial continuity, another, you have knowledge continuity, where if there's anything that you have in mind, like it could be guidance, it could be thankful letters, it could be anything that you want to pass on to the next generation, it could be best practices, ethical values, religious intentions, or any important aspect that has come across in your life, you can document that. So there's a knowledge transfer, and there's also emotional transfer, that say at any point, if you are not there and if you had to give a guidance to your family member. So we cover all those aspects here. I'll go to each and every vertical, and it's not going to be salesy, it's not going to be too much of knowledge. It's something for all of us to just connect, because each of us will connect with something or the other, and it's a good thought enriching session that we'll have now. It's just going to be like 5-10 minutes, but then we'll have a lot of open questions now. Durga, if there's anything you'd like to add on.
Just wanted to ask you guys, back home, I'm sure everybody has situations where your parents are earning. And how many of you think that your father has told what he has done to your mother or to you even? Right? And did anybody ever think what's going to happen to them tomorrow? So what happens to everything that you have accumulated today? How do we get it? I mean, because see, the Soult was built with an idea where if tomorrow something happens to me and I'm in a situation I cannot make decisions for myself, my family should know how to go about it. So in case of emergency, let it be in case of things where I'm not there, then how should they continue life without any hassle? Right? Because we are earning for our families. We are doing everything to make sure we take care of our responsibilities. But when the time comes, we are not planned for it. Because it's a taboo. We don't talk about it. Insurance, my own father-in-law said no. If I do insurance, something will happen. He had a small stunt later, we had to again go and get the insurance done. Right? So there is a lot of taboo even we don't discuss about. But this is the need of the hour. This has been making for the last 4 years since COVID happened. Because we live as if nothing has happened. It was just 4 years ago when we have seen a lot of our near and dear ones just disappear overnight. And families didn't know what to do. Right? So keeping that situations, what our family and friends went through, this has been in the making, where we added so many features into it that today the app what we have built, the closest app has only 30% of what features we have built across the world. So the features here is thought for Indian families, but can serve global, citizens. So today we want to launch in India. We want to take it to other GCC and other European countries. But the best use case will be where we have here is we know our granny's recipes. We know, how a small bracelet comes to us. There are so many things that we think about that we can, track everything here, make sure that it goes to the right people. I've seen so many houses where the minute somebody in the house passes away, there is always a battle about who gets what. It's very common scenario, right? There are 3 sisters. Even for saris, I've seen women fight. This is the reality. I've seen it in my own family. Forget others. Okay, this happens. So when this is the case, don't you think we should capture it right? Make sure that as me, the breadwinner or the elder in the family, I say what goes to whom. So this is as simple as that. Just making sure that my wishes are captured right. My granny's recipes are there and passed on to the future. And my mother's voice can be captured because I don't have a mother today, but she was an excellent singer. I could have just recorded a song which I don't have. I could have recorded this song and kept it here. I don't want to put it on social media. Right? I don't want to put that on Facebook or YouTube anywhere. I can keep it to myself. I'm sure everybody can relate to this. So we can just go for more scenarios. Maybe as and when we can give you more things that can relate.
That's, oh, I'll just use it manually. Actually. Well, it's fine. Anyways, I have the mic. Right? So. No, I'll do it. Anyways, the mic is there. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So again, this is just going to give you like a snapshot. And again, touching base on what I already mentioned was the first thing is the question of 1.1 lakh crores unclaimed assets that's there. So it's about identifying why this takes place and if something we also could fall under that bracket. So what we've done is we've identified the problem statement, and if you look at it as say first 79% of Indians they leave without a will. So when we had the Soul Dialogues where you were part of, we had a lot of people from will creation itself, from a legal perspective on succession planning and legacy planning. They, although they have been doing the day and day for their clients, even they have plans but have not executed wills. So it is something where Indians, we always push it that, okay, we'll do it next time. Some people don't plan, some plan and don't take it forward. So that leaves a big gap. And then if you look at anyone's phones, for example, we have over 12 apps where, your investment, your banking, it could be even like a Google Drive or your email accounts, if you take into that perspective, because those are places where we have photos, memories, videos, then you have your financial assets, and everything is scattered across different apps that we have on our phone. And each of these apps have their own password and their own access related information. So what happens if there's a person, he's no more there, and the immediate family wants to get access to it? They have to first identify what are the different apps, then figure out how to get access to that. So already they have an emotional grief that is going on and adding into this chaotic situation. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify all these problems, consolidate it, and give one solution. So that's where, as of now, if you look at, there's 0 products that solve all of this. And as Durga had mentioned, the product started with one vertical, and then it's constantly evolving, because every day we speak to someone, we identify there was something new that is there, which also could be added here, and that someone is personally connecting towards it. We immediately incorporate it, we evolve it. So we're trying to make it for the people in a very realistic, everyday use basis situation. And again, another main aspect which all of us lose access to is emotions, like how Durga had mentioned about mother being a really good singer. There are so many people who've got memories, like it could be letters that they've written, like they were, say, people who are married and who've got their first child, and if they're writing a first letter in school or the first drawing, you could just take a photo of it and keep it on here. Because in normal situations, you just keep it in books, and eventually the books just get misplaced after years when we're trying to move houses or any avenue. So it is just like one place, like your vault. Basically, if you have a safety vault at home, you put all your valuables there and you know it is safe there. When you want, you open it. So this is just the digital version of that. And that's what we're trying to create, that whether it's, when we talk about assets, it's not only financial related one, it could be memories, anything that holds value to you. Even it could be messages that you want to pass on to others, we term it as assets over here. And the main challenge that we have now is there's always just one person who knows everything. And if anything happens to that person, the family is blindsided there. All of us think that, okay, tomorrow I will make a plan, I'll structure it. But it's always at the time of an emergency where people realize that it's too late. So what we've done is we've identified the problem that's there in the market, and we've built the product across 5 core pillars. So the first one is your wallet, where you have all your IDs and KYC. So this need not only be your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, your passport documents. It could be, say, we are all employed here. It could be right from your offer letter, your pay slips, your appreciation letters, anything of that sort. If you're in school or college, it could be right from your birth certificate, anything that related to your school admission. So you don't need to go around and search every time for your documents in different folders in your laptop or in your phone. Whereas here you have one avenue where you have all of them uploaded once. And from the app, you're able to share it via email, WhatsApp, to any channel. So it's like anything I need, I just open Soul and it's there for me to share it. So it, on a day-to-day use also, it becomes really handy for you. Then you have your nominees, where we have a wide portfolio where you can add multiple people who you want different aspects of the wall to be visible to at a time of an emergency. So based on that, you clearly structure it. And it's not that like how a bank has one nominee where the nominee has to go and figure it out with the bank or the insurance company. Here, what happens is we have different triggers set up, by which if there is no activity there or we identify that something might have happened, we get in touch with the nominee, we get an update, and then we do what's needful. So we take the initiation here, because the entire goal of the platform is to ensure continuity comes, give that emotional and support that is needed in order to get the entire flow of transition that takes place. Then you have your memories place, where it could be photos, letters, voice notes, anything that you want to document. Say you're going for a trip, you're taking a lot of photos, but if you want to document that, okay, what made me go for this trip? What were the best things that happened in this trip? You have a photo of a food. All of us take photos of what food we eat, but something about the taste or what was really exciting about that trip. So small memories could be documented, where you're passing it down to your kids, their kids. It goes for generations. Because for me personally, what I do is when I go to my grandparents' place, I take these old photo albums, go to it, and then they sit and explain everything about those photos. What if my grandparents were no longer there to explain that? I would just see it as photos and I would have no idea. This gives you that context to anything that's there. And then your assets and documents is everything, right? From your properties, policies, insurance, everything is secured in one place. And then finally, we have the password keeper. So again, this is mainly to ensure that if anything happens, they have access to Soul, and within Soul, they have access to all your email IDs, your cloud drives, your financial apps, A to Z. Say, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is all of us use Face ID or fingerprint when we are logging into apps or even a UPI payment. Sometimes when we log into the bank account on the computer, a lot of times we forget what is the actual password, and we have to go to the forgot password. This is something there, because every time when I go online, I have to give forgot password, then go to the entire verification, set up a new password, and then I again forget that, because those are things we don't do it every day. So again, password keeper could be right from basic things for your family to follow, at the same time even for you. If there is an app, you can just put in all your details there, and it has an extra layer of protection. So once you log into Soul, you have a second layer of encrypted protection, and that's when you have access to it. It's purely to ensure that when you're there and when you move on, all your portals, the access is there, and there is no area where there's going to be a blockage over there. So again, sometimes people get this perspective that it is just something that happens in unfortunate circumstance, for example, where a person is no longer there. That's when I need a solution like Soul. But that's where we want to clearly identify that, say, on a day-to-day basis, you can store all your secure documents, like how I mentioned about your Aadhaar card or your PAN card or anything. You could just be sharing everything from the portal itself. You can be tracking your assets, insurance, all of that. So you have it every day when you're living for you to use it. Then you have a second category where at the time of an emergency. So what we've done is we've gone ahead right from your life preferences. Say, for example, if something happens to me, if I have to go to a dialysis, or if I'm on ventilator, or I'm in a medical situation, first they get access to all my medical records. So that is all documented. And then it's also my wishes. Like if I'm in a life-threatening treatment, do I want to be there or do I want to go to it? Because sometimes, especially with COVID and different times, we've had people being on ventilators where the family is trying their best, but we know that they're also going through pain. So at that point, it's like, to remove that, probably sometimes people feel guilty, like, I could not do this for you. Whereas here, it's like just documenting it. Again, these type of topics in India especially is very taboo. Like when we all hesitate to go to speak to our parents about inheritance or whether you have a will, because they're like, why are you bringing this topic? So it is just to, break that ice, make people aware that, say, these are things just at the time of an emergency to support. It's not that something will happen, but it's just to be there at that point. So all your healthcare related ones, anything at the time of an emergency, your family can just access this, get everything that is required for you to help ease that situation. And then the last one is for the loved ones after. So again, we have this entire flow by which you can assign which family member, or even if it's a trusted friend or ally, who can get access to different aspects of the vault. So we have an executive flow avenue there, by which once we've identified that the person is no longer there, who's the right person, we give them access to the dashboard, and then they will be able to access, and the main purpose for what Soult was built is solved with that angle. So again, down you can see it can be right from assets, documents, your IDs, insurance, passwords, your wills, medical records, your memories. It's one portal for A to Z. It's just that rather than having photos in a vault, you have it in a secure digital place. So I'll touch base on this later, but yeah. So when we're speaking about having data in the digital space, the first question all of you guys would also get is how safe or secure is the data? Because we hear every day that so and so is getting hacked, so and so data is leaked. So we've given extreme care and caution to that. So we want to be completely transparent on how the data flow happens. You log in using your MPIN or using any biometric channel. On your phone, you upload all your valuable information. Gets into cognito mode, and through API gets into Lambda KMS, which is completely Amazon's anonymous channel by which data flows to the entire journey. It is ensured that it's completely encrypted. So say, for example, our own developers will have zero access to any information here. AWS developers will have zero information to what is happening here. The only person who will know what is uploaded is the person who's done it, who's the owner of the vault. The question comes that what if hacking takes place? Say, even the FBI's website can get hacked, NASA can get hacked, Reserve Bank, any website in the world can get hacked. The question comes here is, if someone tries to hack this entire framework, can they see your sensitive information? So that cannot be possible, purely because the moment it gets into your phone and moves out, it's in an encrypted format. They will see some jumbled words or gibberish, but they will not have access to your images, your passwords, or your sensitive documents. No information will be leaked out or visible to anyone else. And the KMS keys, they keep on regenerating. So the moment it regenerates, in about 3 to 5 minutes, you're kicked out of the system. So you have the 3 to 5 minutes to break in to entire framework, and even if you go there, you don't see anything. So that's why, to give you that peace of mind that the entire journey is completely encrypted. At no point, no one has access to the data, and no one can see it or misuse any of the data or information stored on Soult. And our primary data storage happens at Mumbai's AWS warehouse with the backup in Hyderabad. Any doubts here? Because I know everyone gets into the point of data security. Yeah. But anything else that you've seen so far, if you want to ask anything, feel free. Yeah, again, just touching base on what I've said, we never read your vault. It's never tracked, never shared, never sold, and never used to train AI. So something we want to tell you is the entire journey, it is completely yours, and you have complete access to it. And we've also been certified by ISO, and then we also have compliant by the DPDP Act. So sometimes people ask us as to whether we could purchase or live track the bank accounts or the insurance or the investments that we're doing, or make additional SIPs to the app. Since we've kept the perimeter extremely secure, any type of an external API integration also we have to be extremely cautious, because if there is a vulnerability there, it could penetrate into our system. So that's why as of now we've kept it very secure. Any type of an improvement or external gateway that we want to open, we're keeping it in a very extreme cautious manner. So that's why we comply with anything from a data security and privacy policy in India. So when we're looking to expand into different regions in Europe and Middle East, again, we want to be 100% sure that at all points we abide by all the compliance and privacy related guidelines that's there, to ensure that trust is important, and we want to build that as we go ahead with it. And again, yeah, your data never leaves India, again, part of the DPDP Act. And yeah, these are generally some questions which people ask. that I already have Google Drive or DigiLocker. What happens to all of this?
Just a question. What do you guys save your documents with? What is the general process now? Do you have any documentation saved, or it's all hard copies? How is it that I'm sure everybody has invested or has insurance at least?
Mostly all of us are saving it in the hard drive.
All right.
And I have a very bad
Experience.
with it. Hard drive crash. You really recover it, I think, really good amount of money. And that included all the insurance copies, some photos that I cherished from my college, everything, and some good data of the organization as well.
You had to get it back, right? So
There is no other way.
right? So this is the case with most families. I'm sorry, but most of the families, the reason why we build this so securely is everybody has something that you've accumulated. I'm sure your companies have insurance which is given to you, right? If something happens to me, how will your family know where is the insurance? The simplest thing, which insurance? Unless you give them, it's a family insurance, okay, they know. But all these things we take it for granted, right? So where do you save your investments? You're earning, I'm sure the minute you have a family, where you start a family, you get married, you have a small child, then you will start saving for a child, right? So where are you saving all these? I'm just trying to understand how. How is it stored today? Did we think about it? Okay. How will people know about DigiLocker? So if something happens to you or your family member who's using a DigiLocker, how do I access? Okay. So I'm just trying to understand how will your family members know if you have saved something on a DigiLocker? How will they know that you have saved something there? Maybe you'll have to share the password, correct? And do you want to share the password now or later? You want to keep few things still secret, right? That's how Indian families are. Because not everybody gets involved. The father who takes care until we grow up. And when we start, we will have our own investments which fathers won't agree on. They will say they know it's more. So everybody has their own things, right, going on. So the idea here is we have a very clear roadmap. Where you save anything here, we have an executor that you will assign. It's a mandatory process. So who's an executor? Anybody can be an executor. It can be a spouse, it can be a very well trusted friend, a lawyer, anybody. And how many? So me and my wife are on that, and something happens to us when we are traveling, then what? So we have multiple executors. There can be 20 executors here. In case you have too many assets to worry about, too many companies, then you have 20 executors that you can assign. Now, why do we need this executor? There is a medical emergency. You need to extract the files immediately. Or I have a wish where I do not want to be on a ventilator for more than 4 days. Nothing happens to me in 4 days, take me off. Families cannot make these decisions, right? Recently, there was a death in our family where the kids were trying to see whether should we save enough or not. It is such a hard decision, right? As a son, he didn't want that to happen. But if I had made it very clear, don't waste money, the hospitals are going to just strip your money and your savings, then yes, after 4 days, nothing happens, this is the situation, put it off. It's an easy decision, right? All these are safe. So when an executor is assigned, if your device is not moving, okay, sensors, there are sensors where the app uses, and the device is not being used, then we send a reminder asking them if everything is okay. We do not get a confirmation from them, then a message is sent to the executor asking them, hope everything is fine with the vault folder. And even then, if everything is fine, then it's okay. If they say no, then there's a legal procedure where they have to produce the documents, understand exactly what is the process. We will help them out. So the vault information is passed to the executor. Instantly, nothing is missed. Right? So there's a clear pathway here, clear process which we have defined, just to make sure nothing misses. And everything that we have done for our loved ones is reaching them as needed. Right? So I can take up any questions other than this. I just want today's session for you guys to reflect and think, whatever you have been doing, how is that it comes handy when it is really needed? That's the main important question we are asking everyone. I'm not saying you have to take Soult, but if your parents need it, think about it, right? They would have done some investments in shareholding 20, 30 years ago that are in the paper format even today. They don't even. So think about all these. I'm talking about real solutions. I have no question.
The previous slide mentioned that it is protected, layers of securities there. Even sold or AWS cannot see. What if I myself forget sold password? Is there a procedure for me to recover it?
Yes, there's a recovery process. So you have multiple ways that you can. Either you have to see the security questions there, you have to email that OTP is coming. So that's a normal
For example,
process.
I lost my mobile and basically the device in which my Face ID is there. And I'm not
So
sure.
your information is secure, right? So once you get a new device,
I think they're not able to hear the mic also, so maybe we can just use this.
okay, so the question what you had was, what happens if the device is lost where the Soult app is? How will you recover it? So it's very simple. If the device, if the device is lost, no information is lost because it's safe and secure, and there is a way for us to get into your app. So it is either to your face or biometrics or something. Only then somebody can access it, right? Otherwise, even if they hack in, there is nothing in there. So if you lose your device, you will integrate, you will have a new device, you will open up your account again, you will go through the security questions. So your account comes back to your new device. So I have my tech team also there. So
I think the others are not able to hear it properly. Yeah. No, they're not able to hear it properly, it seems.
Even now?
Should we try this?
What is that I need to hold now? Guys, can you hear me? Who was online on the webinar here? Salim, are you able to hear us?
Yeah, much better now. Okay. Sanket.
Okay, perfect. So the question was, what happens if the device is lost? Sanket, you want to take that answer? I have given from a non-technical background. You can maybe add to the technical aspects of it. So Sanket is the founder of Soult. He's also the tech and the brain behind the whole product.
I think we have to enable his mic.
Yeah. Just he can. Sanket Kandlikar.
It should be SK.
Sanket, you can speak now. Yeah.
So I think the question is, what happens if the mobile device is lost? Is that what?
Correct. What happens to the information? How can you get it back?
Okay. So as the diagram that Fauzan was showing, right, regarding the AWS, the information that gets stored is all getting stored in AWS, specifically in Mumbai. So there's a server in Mumbai where all the information is stored, and the backup is stored in Hyderabad. In fact, actually, on your mobile, there is nothing stored. Let's say the mobile device gets lost, and we don't want, there is all, when I say lost, maybe let's take an example, it's stolen, and we don't want the person who has taken this to access it. So that's why the mobile device is just a medium to access the information. The device itself doesn't have it, and we have a recovery mechanism. It's all right now tied to your SIM card. Right, your phone number is the key. So if your device gets lost, you can re-register or sold on a new mobile device. You will need the same SIM phone number. Right, you will get an OTP, and then you can use the same MPIN that had used on the previous device. The one who has stolen will not be able to access Soult because they need to type in the MPIN and ensure that your MPIN is like not easily predictable, right? And we have like a 3 times. So if somebody enters the MPIN the third time wrong, then the app gets locked, right? Just like if you have been using ICICI Bank app, it's very similar to that. It also has 4-digit PIN, so even Soult has that same. So to answer your question, if the mobile device gets lost, nothing happens. you can use a new device to register in a Soult and start using it again, because the data is actually saved on the server.
Okay. Guys, any questions otherwise that you can? Yes, please.
And we have login IDs with multiple. We have same login IDs, but in multiple
Devices.
Okay. So right now it is only in one device that you will have the app. Sanket, correct me there. So can we have this app downloaded on multiple devices where they can log in with it?
Yes, no, actually, yeah, we do have a mechanism. You can actually install the app on multiple mobile devices and access it. But again, as I said, the phone OTP is the key. So if you actually share it with someone else, they can get into the app as long as the OTP and MPIN is correct. Even so, we have another layer of content. You can access from multiple devices. We haven't yet locked it down the SIM card yet, but because we wanted to make it easier if somebody gets lost and they need immediate information and all that, so we ensured that you can actually access through multiple devices.
Okay, that is a question for me as well. So I thought it's only one device. Thanks. Any other questions I would like, or our team would be happy to answer?
In extreme cases, can the government or any regulatory authority ask the data from you?
Sanket, we answered this question enough times.
Yeah.
The government, if they ask us, what is that rules that we follow here?
I think.
So what happens is, as per DPD, we have to abide by the government rules, right? They own everything. Even they, in fact, even have an agreement with AWS itself. AWS Mobile has an agreement with the government, right? So if some things like that happen, what will happen is they will come to us, but the data is encrypted. Your password, and there are in the wall there are layers of encryptions. Okay, we have not used the same level of encryption on the feeds for all the data, because certain things are very sensitive. Your password, your things are very sensitive. So they are client side encrypted, and there are things like warranty cards. These are semi sensitive, right? These are server side encrypted. Okay, which means if government wants to get into it, they will be able to access that information. But anything that is client encrypted, even if they try, unless they are able to exactly guess your password, because you will be setting up the password. If the government is able to predict the password, then they will be able to log in. See what will happen in this thing is, if government is actually behind someone, they obviously will get an order of the SIM card also, right? So they will take the mobile phone and then take the SIM. So the only thing that is protecting your data is your own password. As long as it is not predictable, no one will be able to access.
My question to you is, what is that you're saving that you're worried the government is going to see now?
You and I.
But yeah, just one more thing to add on is the.
So we have to abide by the government rules and regulations. So any data which is there, if the government comes and asks us, any operating company in this jurisdiction has to abide by it. So what we will be able to give is the access to it, but what they are going to see is not in our control. Right? Inside the app, we don't have access to it.
But if
one is client side
yes,
encryption and one is
Correct.
server side.
Yes.
Server side they may be able to decrypt it.
yes.
If they lower related, but the client related really belongs to you.
So when we look at all of this, so the first 4 ones are server side. So as far as they have the SIM card, they'll be able to regenerate the MPIN and they can do it. But when it comes to the password keeper, where I think this is where you're more focused on, because I put all my passwords, everything in one vertical here, and if they get access to everything in open. So this one is client side encrypted. So no one, whether it's us, law enforcement, no one can access it. It's only the person who set up the password. Say, if you forget your password also, it's gone. So it's basically on the same blockchain of crypto, where this one is client side encrypted also. So that is why I think that might address your question. Like anything you keep inside here, all your bank accounts, your assets, or hidden ones, that will be safe
so
from.
the password keeper is actually a wallet inside the wallet.
That is one thing. One more on top of that question. So the government came to know that I am maintaining the documents in your bank. So without giving notice to me, the regulatory authorities directly come to you. Please give me the data of this specific particular person.
In that case, we cannot open the vault because we would need the SIM card anyways. The OTP has to go to the SIM card. So basically, if they have the SIM card, they'll be able to access it. But by just coming to us with a court order, they will not be. It's not be able to open it for them.
This gives me one more question.
Yes.
In your explanation, you said in the unlikely event of not unlikely,
Unforeseen, yeah.
Yes.
If a person dies and his entire savings or whatever the information related
Correct.
can now be passed on to another person,
The nominee.
Executor.
right?
Yeah.
Is there any way where I can keep something, but it will die with me itself? Like even if I have the executor, where I pass on, let's say for example, 1, 2, 3 information, but the fourth information, I just want to keep it to myself and want to remember till the time I'm alive. And if I die, that should die with me.
Interesting. That's the first way coming across that. So,
Again, I'm sure this has been thought about.
This requirement has come earlier as well. We are looking, I mean, there's a way for us to design this because we already have the client side password. So we can categorize certain information as client side password. We don't have that yet, but it's pretty actually straightforward. Now we have the architecture and design right. We should be able to give that very easily. Just to add, right, the ultimate design of our vault is not to just keep it safe, but the recoverability. Everything that gets stored in is actually to ensure that it gets recovered. It is accessible to our loved ones at some point of time. Right? It shouldn't die with us. But I understand there are certain things that maybe we will use it only in our lifetime, and there is no need for our loved ones to have access to it. That feedback I've taken. We will try to get that, and we already have a design. We just have to enable it in the app.
So when I'm here today, I got it. I really got it. You travel to Dubai, you come here. So yeah, 2 countries you're living, I can understand.
Maybe we'll have 2 soldiers. Ensure the executors are the same.
So yeah, I think that's most of it. But otherwise, we'll be even happy. if
Maybe
there's more
anyone
questions
on
that
call
pop up.
if they have any questions.
Sorry.
No, on call there are people.
On
If
call, if
anyone,
there's anybody as well who has something to raise as a question,
I think they'll be on mute, right? So
Any questions?
or they can maybe just type on the.
yeah.
We can take it out here. Salim is still on the call.
I think he stepped out. Is there?
Yeah. Okay. Samad is there? Samad, you want to add something? Samad heads our India operations. So he's based in Bangalore. So we decided to make this company as a Bangalore-based company. Wanted to be from a tier 2 city. That's where. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Be happy. Hope it is again something we can answer, not something to answer.
I just want to know who the tangible assets are stored in that vault.
Give me an example for what?
For example, billings there.
Sorry?
Billing.
Billing.
He's just trying to understand like how do we store assets. So
Okay, we'll have a demo today. So I'll have a video next where you can just.
yeah, I'll play
Okay,
that.
so there you have all assets as to how it is stored, what kind of assets are there, how we segregated them as well, and how it is easy for you to follow or anybody to understand what is stored where. Okay, that's a very clear demo of here.
For example, let's say someone is using board number, he expires. How other people in the family will access? How it works?
So that is the process called executor, right? So while I'm creating the vault, it is a mandatory process or a step for you to assign an executor. So when you assign an executor, we are taking their phone number, they get an OTP, where the executor knows that I've appointed them as an executor. It's not that they don't know about it. Okay. So I'm talking to somebody in my family, like my wife, I'm telling, say, I have sold, I've given your number as the executor for it. So you're going to get a message. So that's how we are going to track. If this device is not used, I keep getting messages. I don't respond back. The executor's device gets messages. We communicate to them saying that we don't see the main vault account being used. Hope everything is fine. Right? So when we get a response which is negative from the executor, then there's a process to be followed legally for them to provide documents. These documents is what we verify, and then we make sure that it is processed.
And
Yeah.
just to add another point is they would have a separate executor dashboard. So the Soult owner, when they assign the executor, they decide what all they want this particular executor to see. So in their dashboard, they will have access to all of that. So the transition or the continuity takes place in that way. No. No. For you, with the MPIN, you can do it. If you forget the MPIN, to reset your password, you need the OTP, registered number.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So what happens here is, say, once I set up my Soult, I need to choose a nominee or an executor. So in that case, I assign you, for example. So the moment I put in his details, he would get an OTP. So he will set it up, and he will also be aware that I have nominated him for the Soult app as the executor. So when something happens to me, all he has to do is he needs to get in touch with the Soult team and says that, okay, Fauzan's facing XYZ activities. Then they will do their verification and they will give him access. So what all I have granted him permission to see, he will be able to view it in his executor dashboard. And just about your tangible assets, so usually what happens is, say, for example, if it's a watch, I can take a photo of this. Maybe if there is the invoice or warranty card, anything aspect, I can just put it under assets, watch, put in all these details, and also write a note if there was anything special or what made me buy it or if it was gifted to me, all that, and I can keep it as a separate document.
So it is just not about the device, it's the memories attached with it, it's the feelings. For example, when was it given? It was my first anniversary gift to my wife. So you will add those as well. So you're capturing those moments. So it is a item that you have. Why it is important to you and why it should go to somebody. You can all define those things. Right? So it may be a small chain that you want to give it to your daughter. It has to go only to her, not the eldest son. Why? So you can capture these reasons as well.
Tokenization and processing and tokenization.
Right.
What is that actually?
Tokenization is about fragmenting a particular investment, right? So if I'm not wrong, so if there's
What I have known about tokenization is the process of
splitting, right? So that's what fragmenting. So you split it. In this case, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about being clarity about what goes to whom. So you have multiple assets, right? Your assets is not just what your bank balance is. I have bikes. I craze for bikes. So what happens to bikes after me? It goes to my son or not? So everything is very clearly defined. So smallest of things, my earrings or anything, right? Who should it go to is what I'm defining here. So the definition is clear about who gets what or how I want things to happen in my absence.
It's about ensuring continuity.
Yeah, because I'm talking about tokenization and earrings. One will go to my eldest son, one will go to my youngest son. That's what you mean. Tokenization is splitting it, right? So where you correct. I can do that.
So you store it there, and token number will come.
No. Here, what you're going to do is you're just going to take memories by in form of photos, images. You're going to store images there. With the image, you're going to store the details a small write-up to it or description of how it is.
Basically,
Right.
you can just look at it like your own personal notepad, like a book where you're just putting a photo, you're writing some context, everything. The interface is also very simple. It's not complicated. It's not really hi-fi. Very simple that each everyone can just go and feel like it's their own diary or journal.
Now just imagine every house there is a Ajji which is gone now. Somebody's Ajji, so she had some ornaments. How it was, split between in the family. Here you can define it. Simple as that. So bangles will go to her. This will go to her. Everything can be defined by images.
So again, here the goal is,
Yeah.
say for,
No, you don't bring problems.
no, that is why you.
No. See, what happens here is when it is defined very clearly, right? There is a very clear reason for you to go and contest, right? So it becomes simple, right? When you're drafted things, you're also going to make it very simple for people to make their wills. So we are also talking to legal firms where we are looking at making a will which can be upgraded every year. So year on year, you're going to pile up assets. So every year we are going to renew it and make sure your assets are well captured. So it can be part of your will as well. So we don't have a digital will which is legal in India. So we are trying to see how we can have a legal firm work with us. Yeah. So if they don't agree, at least they can contest to the court saying that this is how it has been defined and captured. Even when you go to the court, you write in a diary, that diary can be produced in the court. You know that, right? So just like that, here it's a digital wallet that you can produce to the court saying that yes, this is the assets, this is how it was told. So the court will decide. At least there's clarity.
And again, Soult is about my intentions and my wishes. Say, for example, the same question, there are families where the main person of the asset is still alive, and he says that no, I want half to go to my son, half to go to my daughter, and then the son would be contesting in court, I want 70% of it. So even when I'm alive, they go against my wish. So here the same thing is, I've made my intentions and my wish very clear. Then it depends whether the next generation want to honor my wishes or they want to fight it out.
So it just gives you clarity.
Yes.
The rest is for the court to decide.
I'll just probably have the.
So still, if you have anything, we'll be happy. Otherwise, I think it's pretty simple. We just go through a small demo.
Yeah.
That would be more insight.
If anyone wants to test it out, you can just scan the barcode. Because while we're doing the demo, if you could just download it, it just gives you an easier understanding of as to how simple everything flows. That's why I just played with.
India's first secure digital life.
My screen.
Yes, just minimize that.
Okay. No, I think the guys on the call may not get it. I just hope you can hear me, or if you can just keep the mic, because last time the audio was not visible.
Mic needs to be kept there.
You know, next to yours. Yeah, same thing. So everyone will be able to hear.
You guys missing today? No. Only guys, right?
Just in the beginning.
It's coming from
Can they hear?
the call, they might not.
Yes. Maybe we'll do it in the old method. Wait 1 second. I think here. Like there will be option to share the sound one. Okay. Yeah.
One place for everything your family would need to find. It opens with your end pin or your face. Nothing inside is reachable without you. Everything lives in 5 vaults: wallet, loved ones, memories, assets and documents, password keeper. Pillar 1, wallet. Wallet holds your identity documents: PAN card, passport, driving license, voter ID, and passport, credit and debit cards, ration card, vehicle registration. 22 more. Add 1 and it is stored. Photograph the front and back and it's done. Pillar 2, loved ones. Loved ones is who matters and how they are related to you. Choose the relationship, add their details, and decide what they can see. Name your executors and the people who should be told first. Pillar 3, memories. Memories is what a document cannot hold. A diary entry, a letter, a confession, a final wish, or a message left for one person to be opened later. Write it, record it, or say it. Tag who it is about, and add a photo or a voice note. Pillar 4, assets and documents. Assets and documents is the map to everything you own. Bank accounts and deposits, insurance policies, loans and liabilities, gold and precious metals, real estate, digital assets. Each one takes the details that matter and the papers that prove it. And for property, the story behind it and who it should go to. Pillar 5, password keeper. Password keeper holds the logins nobody else knows in folders you control. Add 1 and it is encrypted the moment you save it. Beyond the 5. Beyond the 5, a medical bind where your family can reach in an emergency. And legacy. Your will, your power of attorney, your organ donation choices, and the executors who carry them out. Executors get their own dashboard and only when the time comes. Face ID, NPIN, encryption. All under your control. Everything that matters in one secure place. Download Soult.
Yeah.
So it's a very straightforward, simple app. Once you open it, it is designed in a way that anybody, even a college-going student or senior citizens, can use it. So we made it so simple. So it is explaining everything as to what are the assets that you want to capture, what is the UI. So we have been constantly trying to get it and make it better design-wise. So as and when there is feedback from users, we are trying to implement and make those changes into our app as well. I would suggest you guys download it, recommend it to your friends and family, whoever you think is serious about how it has to transition to their loved ones. Talk to them about it. It is a very important topic that we fail to address. So Soult Dialogues is one such event we hosted recently, where we called senior VPs or directors or even partners of organizations who are in the same field, wealth management, HR, or people who take care of huge organizations with 800 to 1,000 employees. When we asked few questions to them, even they started asking themselves whether I'm covered on these or not. How can we make sure that everybody likes it? Everybody wants to think about it. So we want this as an awareness that everybody can look into, think for themselves, and make sure you plan it right for your loved ones. Simple as that. Our motto is to make sure it reaches every house, every pocket, where you use this and make sure your loved ones use it so there is no suffering at the time of need. Right? Anything to add, sir? Anything to add?
No, that's it. I think we've covered.
Sanket, you want to add anything? Sanket, your ending notes. You want to add something?
Just one thing that, obviously I think the question that comes to everyone over here, first time for Soult, is it a legal app? Is it a financial aggregator app, right? Or is it a medical app? It's actually a digital life form, right? That's what we saw today. That it's giving the clarity to your loved ones. Obviously, you're documenting assets is fine, but then telling that story, right? Why did you acquire the asset and what you wanted to do with it? You wanted to keep it or sell it? Was it an investment? I think that clarity lacks in whatever mediums that we have, like Google Drive or Digilog or even this, right? It doesn't capture the essence of the person, right? And Soult is here to help you that, capture your essence so that that can be, shared with your loved ones. And they can cherish it, wish that essence forever. So that's the only thing I want to add. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks, Sanket. Yes, sir.
Yes,
please.
please.
Unless you want to.
No. Absolutely. Please. I will add few words once you're done.
So I have two sad things and one good thing to share, which is connected to, in one or the other way, the concept that Soult is bringing in. Let me start with the sad one so that we go ahead and conclude with the good. 10 years back, I lost my father-in-law. And he was aged, but the death was all of a sudden. You complete all the rituals, and then comes the known assets, bank accounts, the properties, and everything. Things started little irritating. My wife is not here, that's why I can say this. When even after 2 years, some of the other things used to come, and my in-laws family used to ask the signature of my wife, this daughter of the deceased person. And every time she had to travel to a different city just for signing certain papers because it had to be signed to complete something. Correct. You'll not believe I use this word 10 years. Even today, there are unfinished businesses which is kind of unfolding every time. And very recently we discovered that he had some Karnataka Bank shares as well, which was purchased long back in physical form. I think it is now split into multiple shares and subdivided. We all know the meaning of this. So this was never told. They run a local shop there basically. One day a bank manager came to that shop to buy something else, and he over a talk happened to inform my brother-in-law that I think we have one account of your father. After 10 years, this is I'm saying. The family already had taken care of all the family succession tree and everything, and they recovered and distributed all the bank accounts and balances available on there, whether it is to my mother-in-law or to others. But they discovered in the same bank there was another account which is still lying in the old limits, which he had started. Basically, they were doing the paper distribution work, which he had done almost 30 years back when my wife was born. So for few years, for 3-4 years, they had done the paper distribution, and every money that they made out of that paper distribution, he had put it in an account for the purpose of his girl child. Today, whatever we have, Sukanya Sampriti and others, right? He had that vision, he saved some money, maybe for her education, marriage, or whatever. But that money, that account is never touched. And it has grown to a significant amount. If not multi crores or
It's a good thing. Actually, it's not a sad thing. Though.
No, but the sad thing is, for 10 years, no one knew about this. Another real sad thing out here. We are in August 2026. August 2024, I lost my brother who was in US for a job. He was in fact working in a bank. Now imagine, he is a financially literate person, not like any other normal person. He is a financially literate person working in some top class, bank, shifted to US for about 6-8 months, and in an unfortunate event, a car accident, while coming back from the office, he died. Now, the bad part is, he has been always telling my sister-in-law, why are you worried? I'm there not to take care. He had never shared anything about their finance positions, whether it is investments, savings, or even the number of bank accounts that he had. Luckily, because he was working in the bank, and his entire transaction was done through that bank's account that he had, the bank helped my sister-in-law to, number one, recover his active bank account in that bank, and number two, also to go through all the investment, SIPs and other things that he has been doing. So generally, you don't do investments in one go. That's not the right decision, right? You end up probably buying some 10,000 rupees SIP every year. Every month there will be a reduction in the account. You don't even know where it is going. That's how the SIPs are built. Some mutual funds, some insurance. Literally, what they have to do is, you'll not believe, they have to go back for 5-6 years bank statement, entry by entry, and see where the money has gone, and trace all the financial assets that he had made and created for the family. By doing this, they only got to know there is something like this. They did not even access it. Imagine there is a SIP. Now, whether it is done through, let's assume in a simple words, whether it is done through Zerodha or it is done through Pro or whether it is done through Shareka, that you don't know. But there is a SIP, every month there is 10,000 being deducted. Now imagine, to find the information like this itself is a task. And they could not come out of US for about 2.5 months because they were on a dependent visa and they have a time limit. After 60 days, they have to leave the country because the main sponsor is no more. And if they come back, it is not possible for them to enter back in US. And if they do not enter there, probably the possibility of their gaining this information itself will be hardly. Imagine, as Durga was mentioning, one side you already have the pain of losing somebody loved. Another thing is, he has created something for the family, for the betterment of the family. But that is not somehow directly accessible. It was such a pain for us in our family. Even to tell her, you leave that and come back, because he has created everything for her and family. Or should we ask her to stay, get it recovered and come back? What kind of family we are behind the money that he has created, even when he has left? See, this is a very, very difficult situation you to decide. Like the way we are saying, if I'm there on ventilator for 4 days, you review it off. Such a clarity you would have given to your loved ones that what should happen with me. I think a platform like Soult will help us easily. We can create, otherwise also we can create will, we can create many documentation, we can appoint some lawyers and do things. But all this can be done, but how many of us are actually doing it? So it is in a way is not not that we don't want to do, but it's that we never take that action. Something like this handy will help us to do then and then, right? Now the good point is, when we create this, when we have a salt, and when we have the opportunity to say the things that we want to say to our loved ones, like say for example, I have a watch that I had bought during my training out of my first earnings. This is not my salary I'm speaking about. Training we get a stipend. The cost of that watch is 2,500 rupees. I think it's not a watch which is worth of crore. But the situation in which I bought that watch, only I know. I wanted to buy a watch which is fast track watch. I still carry it. I'm not wearing it now. But every 6 months or 1 year, I ensure that the battery is replaced, it is taken proper care, and it is there in my drawer. Every day I see it. Occasionally I wear it. It's just 2,500 rupees watch, which I bought 20 years back. Fast track. 2,500, 20 years back for a guy who has just finished the college and earning out of 5,000 rupees of stipend is really big thing. If today if I'm earning 10 lakh rupees, it's like I'm buying something out of 5 lakh rupees. 5,000 rupees, I bought 2,500 rupees watch. So it's not about 2,500 rupees. It is the first watch that I bought on my own. I wanted to keep it. I also want my son to keep it, not throw away. Now, can you imagine my son who has seen Mercedes from the day one of his life, think about this 2,500 rupees watch as a valuable one for him? No, obviously not. But if I keep a message to him, man, this is something that I bought in this situation, like the way how I'm expressing now. Probably there is a way, I'm not saying he will, but probably there is a high chance that he will understand the value of this watch. And he will also start loving the same object the way how I am loving. Probably the platforms like Soult will help us in achieving and passing on that information to our next generation, and not only the next generation. My son probably can transfer it to his next generation that, hey, this is your grandfather's watch. In this fashion, he had bought it, and he had so much of love towards it. Let's keep this as a family. That's where the right use of today's digital technology can and should be used. And I think this is something like we all wanted it, but never knew that we need something like this. Somebody had thought, Sanket Durga had come up with this beautiful product, and they are telling us now you need it, making us realize. Thank you for the excellent, waking call for us, basically, and I recommend everyone use it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please.
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮನೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಅವನು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಈಗ ವೈಫ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೋ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ಥಾಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮನೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ತೋದ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ನಾಮಿನಿಗೆ ವಾಲಂಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರು ವಿಷಯ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾ
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅದೇ ಸರ್. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಕಳ್ದೋಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ನಂಬಿಕಸ್ಥರನ್ನ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಆಗಿ. ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಂಡತಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನೀವು ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಅವರು ಫೋನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಅವರು ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಗೆ 20 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ವಿಷಯ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂತ ಅದೇ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತರ ಏನೋ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 50 days ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ವೈಫ್ ಏನ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೆಂಡತಿಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಓಪನ್ ಇದು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸುಮಾರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು 1-1.5 ಕೋಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಡೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಇಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತರ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನೇ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವನೇ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು
ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ
ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆ
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ಗೆ ಇಡುವ ಸರ್. ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮನೆಯವರಿಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಈಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಕೇಳಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದೇ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದೇ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೆಲ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಒಂದು ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಬರ್ದಿರೋದನ್ನ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ತೆಗೆದು ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರ್ದಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ, there is a notes provision of salt. Am I right?
Correct.
If you are able to record something in the salt, ನೀವು ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೈಫಿಗೋ ಫ್ರೆಂಡಿಗೋ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ they will not have access on the day one. They will not know what you have written there. Only when you are not accessing the app. ನಾನು 4 ದಿವಸದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, ಆವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ that there is something for you ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆವಾಗ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಾಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್, ರೈಟ್ ಸರ್? ಸೊ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಮಿನಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ they will not have access to your data. They will have access to data only when you are not there or when you have allowed them to basically. ಈಗ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು
ನೀವಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್
ನಾಮಿನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾ
ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ನ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ in terms of ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಗೆ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮೇನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಥ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇನು ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ನಾಮಿನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಮಿನಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. ನಾಮಿನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಮಿನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾಮಿನಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಇಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇಟ್. ನಾನು ಇಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಅವರು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಲಾಯರ್ ಇಡ್ಬೋದು, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ.
ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೇನೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಹಣ ನನ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್.
ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಏನಾದ್ರು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಕಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ One more last thing before I actually close. Soult artha ಯಾರಿಗಾರ idea ಇದೆಯಾ?
I want to ask this question.
So it's a vault for your soul. So it's a vault for your soul. So it's not just about your physical assets, what you require. It's about everything that is very near and dear to your soul. So it could be your memories, recipes, anything. Like whatever is close to you, you can save it here. Journey will go there. So this is our small product that we have dreamt of taking it global. We want to make sure that every house uses it and it serves the purpose. Our best happy moment will be when there will be no situation of families to struggle. That is the most happy moment we would like to see. Somebody using Soult and coming up with real life scenarios like that. So I think today's session, we are very excited actually that there are so many questions that you had, so much of interaction. But in between there are a few who were lost thinking that okay, I could see on few faces here. So we are happy that we could put that thought into you. And also the scenario what he said, so you didn't close with the happy one. I think
The happy one is the watch.
that is
That's
right.
Internet ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ.
Sir,
Internet ಬೇಕಾ?
upload ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್. So yeah, there are packages on that. So it's storage based. So there's a free package as well. So the free download ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. We want people to still experience it ಅಂತ creativity. Even for students who wants to just come and explore, we have kept it free. And anybody who's curious as to how the app operates, we kept it free. But if you really want to go ahead and use it, there's a package called Legendary. So you can use that, which is giving you good enough space for you to store. ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Still is an MB. We have given GB of space, 5 GB of space.
Yeah.
But still, it is
Compressed,
for you to
yeah.
capture
Because it is
everything.
encrypted and saved as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's very light. It's very light app. So that's how it is. So
One point ಈಗ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ 3 days ಇಂದ ಫೋನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ SMS ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ
So we will execute an OTP sound that will allow you to initially. So where we send them an OTP and they have confirmed their number, right? So we are tracking that device as well.
24 hours ಇಂದ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಆನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ
Not internet, it's not 24 hours. I'm not sure.
We have a few weeks,
There
so
are few
triggers will be sent.
ದಿನ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಏನು. ಈಗ ರಚನೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ದಿನ ಕೆಲವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ it is very frequently ಯಾರು ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡುವಂತ. So there is a common practice that we have that we keep tracking devices a certain time. So I'm not too sure at this point. Sanket, is there a timeline that we have as to when we will send a follow-up message?
Okay.
I'll get back to you on this question, but we have a very clear process and policy set for every.
ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಓನರ್ ಕಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಪ್ ಇಂದ
Can we change? Of course you can. You can change the executor. You can have multiple executors. No, it's the sole discretion of the sole wallet keeper as to who he wants to have and how he wants to do it.
Basically, he's asking, today he will nominate
And that's it, sir.
tomorrow if wife comes, can he change?
Yes, you can.
So wife in the girlfriend, you go to wife in the all scenarios are thought process.
Yeah.
ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ವೀಕ್ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಹ್ಯಾಕರ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವನು ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಡೇಟಾ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಫೋನ್ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇಂದ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ
ಅದು ಏನಿದ್ರು ಸೇವ್ ಆಗಿ database ಅಲ್ಲ. It's not saved in the device, right? Everything is on the server. So if you're able to hack AWS, yes.
I had a doubt adding to this.
Yes.
Hackers are there. So before any app, after any app goes right, do you have any in-house operation happening? Like you bring in, hackers and try to hack your own app.
So almost 160 people are right in our circle. We have people sitting in the US, UAE, and our friends circle ಎಲ್ಲರೂ IT background ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ತರ ಇತ್ತು. ನಾವು ಈ 4 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಬಂತು. ಯಾಸ್ ಓಕೆ ನಾಳೆ ಜನರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅವ್ರ ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಇರ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. Close down tomorrow at any point. We will intimate the user that this is what is going to happen. Please pull out all your information and keep it and make arrangements for it. So we have a very clear data policy. We have a very clear policy for security. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಹಳೆಬಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ AWS ಗಿಂತ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Vulnerabilities, I think he was mentioning very clearly because it is encrypted. If somebody hacks it, what is going to see something different than what you actually store?
So, correct, you're right. He's right. See, what happens is, though, how much of the safety and security we take, this is built on zero knowledge architecture. But we can't go 100% zero knowledge even now as we're building it. Now, no, you're right. So testing has been done, very thorough testing has been done, multiple levels. We have a very clear security officer who has worked with Equifax. One of the, he's also a security officer. So USL and India gave us guidelines review for you to follow security policies. He's the same one who has built the framework for us. So after 6 months of operations in India with the certification what we have, we can go for SOC 2 certification. That is again security level certifications that we need to achieve. So we are going to apply to that as well. 6 months operations are better. So we will get all the certifications. In spite of all that, and still somebody is there, then the challenge is there, always there. It is never going to stop. Right?
But again, the data would not be visible.
Yeah. The
data is encrypted. So even if a hack takes place, maximum they can delete it. Even that, the keys regenerate, so you get it back. But backup servers are there.
It is not that simple because it's multiple
Yeah.
layers. One is our then it gets into AWS. AWS itself has very security layers there. Unless you have a Facebook who wants to leak data, right? So that's the reason we are so cautious about who we integrate. Do we want to integrate with any third party? Do we want to even track dates for renewals? For example, ಈಗ insurance policy ಇದೆ, ವರ್ಷ renewal ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, track ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ಬೇಡವಾ ನಾವು? So in the next phases, maybe we will have consent ತಗೊಂಡು, okay, we are only tracking your renewal dates for insurance, so we can remind you. ಒಂದು app ಇತ್ತು, ನೀವು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮತ್ತೋಗಿ ಅದು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. It should be of practical use. So a lot of things as we go, we'll do more studies on it and we will implement. Latest versions will have all that. Right? I'm glad that there are so many questions, and this is not the first time. Trust me, guys. Every event that we go, okay, it starts where we ask, and then people don't open them. Then the Soult dialogues, which was supposed to close at 8:30, was it 7:30?
7:30.
7:30. Went on till 9:10. People are not getting up, and then we had to tell that okay, we are stopping questions because people have to go back, and now so it's a see, once we start the conversation today, I'm sure you're thinking in all different terms as to how, what, in on that. Just don't forget it once you step out or once we move out from here. Think about it very seriously as to how, what. Your family should make sure that they are at peace at any point. Life is very unpredictable for all of us. But I don't want to put that fear thought in any of us because now I can go ourselves and wear out that. But I'm just saying. So think about it very seriously. So I'll be very happy if you guys use it and promote it to your friends. Unless you have any other questions to ask, I would like to end today's session with a wonderful thank you note to Mr. Narayan. He's been a family to us. He has been guiding us not only with Soult but multiple other organizations that we work with. So now give it a order and the good solution ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕೈ ಸಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸೊ ಆದ್ರೂ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟುಡೇ ಟು ಬಿ ಹಿಯರ್ and address this audience and we consider NRD as a family, so we'll be happy that you use it, give us feedback and also promote us. Likewise, a big thank you to you once again, sir, for arranging this session today.
Thank you for coming and
my pleasure, sir. Now
Thank you so much.
Want to add something?
No, that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have small
opportunity for thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Don't forget us. It's a word for your soul, okay?